Dear students, today I'll discuss with you some important MCQ from the chapter Chemical Energetics. The first question is the direct conversion of A to B is difficult, hence it is carried out by the following shown paths. So delta S A to C 50 entropic unit, delta S C to D 30 entropic unit, and delta S B to D 20 entropic unit, where EU is the entropy unit. Then delta S A to B is how much? Okay, so stepwise you see question number 1, A to B direct and A to C it is indirect, then C to D it is also indirect. Okay, so when A to C it is 50 EU, C to D it is 30 EU, and B to D, not D to B, B to D it is your 20 EU. Okay, so how can you find A to B? Delta S A to B is your 50 plus 30, and this will be minus because it is not D to B, it is B to D, so it is minus 20. So you will get plus 60. So choice B is the correct answer. Next, which of the following indicates the heat of reaction equal to heat of formation? You see these all the 4 choices. Out of the choice A is the correct because graphite is the stable state and oxygen one atom reacts with graphite giving one molecule of graphite with one molecule of oxygen reacts with graphite. Graphite is the stable state and it will give you carbon dioxide. Okay, so choice A is the correct answer. Okay, diamond and this oxygen and giving carbon dioxide. So B is not correct, C is also not correct, and D is also not correct. Choice A is the correct answer. Next, which of the following is correct for this C graphite plus oxygen giving carbon dioxide? Delta is this much. This is heat is absorbed. Mass of product is greater than mass of reactant. Mass of product is less than mass of reactant. Mass of product is equal to mass of reactant. So choice D is the correct answer. Okay. Next, if C2H4 formation of C double bond C and C single bond C is this much are given respectively, what is the enthalpy change when ethylene polymerizes to polyethylene? You see how it is. Question number 4, ethylene to polyethylene. Okay, polyethylene. Okay, so this is polymerization. So you take C2H4 n molecules and you will get C2H4 and this is polyethylene. So here this is double bond is present, here single bond is present. So for double bond it is given minus 145 kilojoule per mole, it is given minus 80. So heat of reaction, what is the enthalpy change when ethylene? Enthalpy change delta H is equal to your product, heat content of product minus heat content of reactant. Okay, product is minus 80, reactant is minus of minus, that is plus 145. So you will get 1 plus 65. So choice B is the correct answer. Okay. Next, question number 5. What is the supercooled water? What is the question number 5? Water is supercooled to minus 4 degrees centigrade. The enthalpy is what? Okay, see question number 5. Supercooled water. Okay, now water is supercooled water. Okay, when water is supercooled at minus 4 degrees centigrade, it remains in the liquid state. Okay, meaning its enthalpy is higher than that of ice at minus 4 degrees centigrade. So it is more than that ice at minus 4 degrees centigrade. Okay, why this is so? So choice B is the correct answer. Okay, but what is the explanation? You see, listen. This occurs because the liquid has not yet released the latent heat of fusion required to free into solid ice. Okay. Super cooled water maintains a higher enthalpy, that is energy. Enthalpy means what? Energy compared to ice at the same temperature because the molecules are not locked into the lower energy crystalline structure of ice. Okay. So choice here B is the correct answer. Next, 0.1 mole of gas absorbs 41.75 joule of heat. The rise of temperature occurs 20 degrees centigrade. The gas must be what? Okay, you remember question number 6. What is given? So we have a formula Q is equal to mCV delta T. Okay, so CV is asked, CV is equal to Q by N delta T. What is Q? Q is 41.75. N, it is, what is N? N is 0.1 mole. Delta T 20 degrees centigrade. Okay, so you will get CV. So CV is 20.88. Okay, but we know Cp minus Cv is equal to R. Okay, so here Cv is given, so Cp is equal to Cv plus R. What is Cv? 20.88. What is R? 8.314. So the result is your 29.19. Okay, so your Cp by Cv you will get 1.4. Okay, what is Cp? Cp is your 29.1819 divided Cv. Cv is you are getting 20.88. So when you divide, you will get 1.44. So this one Cp by Cv value 1.4 is your for diatomic. So choice B is the correct answer. Okay, and for if it is monoatomic, then it will be 1.6. 1.6 for monoatomic, 1.4 for diatomic. Okay, next question number 7. For a spontaneous process, the correct statement is what? We know the total and change in the entropy change is always positive. So choice D is the correct answer. Total entropy change is always positive. Next, for a phase change, water liquid to water solid, 0 degree centigrade, 1 bar pressure. What is the correct answer? Delta G 0. For equilibrium, delta G is 0. So choice A is the correct answer. Okay students, have a good day.